Welcome. You reached Imperial. Review time with Imperial. Today review is Season 5, Power, Episode 6. A Changed Man. Let's get into it. So we got this week's episode starting off where it ended, pretty much where Ghost showed up to drunk to Angela's home, and she let him in. She pretty much looked at him, and he's in his sorrow. He's apologizing, and they had that look, and she pretty much told him he could stay for the night, but he could stay on the couch. So both of them throughout the night, they twisting and turning. Neither of them could really get sleep. Wake up in the morning, Angela pretty much is asking him how he sleep. He didn't. A knock comes on the door. Boom, it's Tasha. Tasha comes in. Ghost is there. Tasha's looking at Ghost like, well, what you doing here? And he said, you kicked me out. So, Angela told her they didn't do anything. You know, Tasha looking at them like whatever, pretty much. And she's basically coming to tell Angela that the cop, they showed up, and they want her to come in for questioning. So at this moment is where Ghost finds out that the secret that they've been keeping between Tasha and Angela, that they haven't told Ghost everything. So he's looking at both of them like, well, why didn't y'all tell me? And they said, well, we didn't want you to get involved and, want you to pry. So in a good sense, it's good that he didn't know everything because he's not tied to nothing in this particular situation. So this episode is pretty much Ghost trying to right his wrong by making peace with everybody that he has some turmoil with. So Angela and Tasha's goal is to prep Tasha on what questions they're gonna ask her, and when she goes to the interrogation. So from there, Ghost has an emergency meeting with Councilman Tate, and he brings Dre, and it's pretty much Councilman Tate is saying there's an audit being done on seeing if their books is clean, no shady business. Councilman Tate was ready to leave. Ghost pretty much said he wanted to speak to Dre. Dre held behind. He told Dre, let's make a truce. Dre said he don't think it's a good idea. And Ghost like, I can make things right so you get your job back, Dre don't really believe Ghost because, this is set up. Why would you? He's somewhat guilty of knowing that Kanan was alive the whole time and didn't tell Ghost, which implementing his son. All right. Me saying that, segue. Here they go, right in Tariq with this mischief rebellion kid, that his rebellion caused his twin sister get killed, yet he's still being rebellious, taking things deeper. So Kanan is on his slick, his own plan to get back at Ghost and whoever. So he's reaching out to Tariq still on the low. Tariq answering on the low, not bringing attention to no one. And Kanan comes out and visits Tariq at school. Tell Tariq, come take a ride with me. They go off, and Kanan's looking at him. It's like a preppy school with rich kids and stuff like that. And Kanan's like, he's seeing a money opportunity. With the epidemic of opioids and pills, he's looking at this is a market out here for pills and stuff like that. So, sidebar note, 50 Cent 50 Cent is using Beijing dye. Whoever dyed his hair for this episode, they didn't wash it out correctly, or which one? I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, bruh, your thing look crazy up there. Look like they just drew a marker on your head on that. So that's a sidebar. But back to the review. So 50 is going out to meet with some guy, talking about terms of a deal they got going on. The guy basically saying, we out of jail now, so listen, things has changed. Kanan like, well, one thing ain't changed. So Kanan pretty much beats him up, and Tariq witnessed it. And so, once again, Tariq is getting involved in some stuff he shouldn't be involved in. Tariq took the money that the guy had that was supposed to go to Kanan. They rolled off. The security person of the gated community pretty much stopped the car. Tariq improvised, went in his mode of he panicked and attacked. Dude, let him go. So, last episode, Tariq took his mom's pills. So, he took his mom's pills, and instead of him taking the pills out of the jar, he still got the pills in the jar. His roommate buddy at the school seen the pills, like, dude, sell me those pills. You know what I mean? Because the kids, they're having fun. They use those pills as, getting high with and having fun with them. He like, nah. But then later in the episode, he in return sells all the pills to him and gave the kid the whole bottle with his mom name on it and everything. Just like, I don't know if that's bad writing or a kid that's being rebellious, that's dumb as hell, that don't know how to cover his tracks. But I guess they're looking at it, yeah, that might be the case because he didn't grow up street or whatever. But you don't have to grow up street to just have common sense in general. So, that I was bothered by. I'm bothered by the way they write Tariq. I'm bothered by that whole whatever. I'm like, enough is enough. Like, how deeper do you keep writing this kid like a bad character? Like, it just don't make sense. Like, you don't keep writing this kid as a bad character. Where's the end game? Where does it come? How does he turn face? How does he turn it around? Because you already wrote him so bad for so many seasons that end up causing his twin sister to get killed. Now he's still doing the same dumb stuff. Like, oh man, that's bad writing. They could have went somewhere else with Tariq. I don't think they should have went that route. But okay, Tariq also confessed to Kanan, because he think Kanan is his boy, that he was the one that killed the cop. So, Kanan looking at him like he gonna use that against Tariq or Ghost in the future. You see that coming. So from there you got Tommy and Teresi. Tommy is this googly-eyed, always longing for a family. He's embracing his dad full pledge, and him and Ghost got friction. Ghost can't tell him basically like, I'm washing my hands. I can't clean your money no more, so no more money laundering. I'm trying to go straight again. And so Teresi's there listening, ear hustling. Now keep in mind, Teresi is what the feds trying to get Ghost and Tommy set up. So Tommy once again is gullible. This my dad, and giving them all information. Now, it's kind of writing like Tommy is not as dumb as everybody think he may be. So it's kind of writing like Tommy is on to Teresi in a sense, and they're going to write it where you used to see like in the previous seasons where Ghost would be the one that had the master plan at the end and watch all the pieces. It seemed like they could be, and I could be wrong, that they could be writing it where Tommy is the one that's going to have the master plan at the end and watch all the pieces connect. So we'll see how that right, because it kind of looks like he's too gullible, like you ain't seeing. So he took the tracker that the feds had on him, he put it on Dre's car. So this kind of situation looks like, I don't know how that's going, because Dre and Ghost is making a truce, so that's another segue to Ghost and Dre met up again, and Ghost pretty much tells Dre like we need to make a truce, and Dre was like, well, Ghost was like, well, I need you to kill Tommy's Connect or whatever, because that dude got a hit. Tommy owes him money. He got product, and so therefore, Ghost is like, we need to get him out of there because he's a problem. Dre like, all right, I do it, but you gotta do something for me. I need you to get rid of the brother and the Hernandez brother. So Ghost is like, all right. So they shook on it, had a drink and shook on it. From there, the lovers quarrel with Angela. Ghost is still going on there, meeting up at Ghost's penthouse and talking about everything, how they once loved each other and they still love each other pretty much. And Ghost said, I think I should get right first before we shouldn't try it again. She said, you right. So you see it's coming. Like, they got a good chemistry that it looks believable. So you could eventually see them getting back together. But if they get back together, let it be that they ain't got all this back and forth crap going on, and let it be them together, and then they got turmoil with other things, not this back and forth with them. So, whatever with that. Meanwhile, Tasha is in the interrogation room. Instead of the head detective guy coming in, it's the girl internal affairs person, and she is still here hunting for Angela, and she shows up. She's the same cop that dressed in a cop uniform that showed up to Tasha's house, and she showed up to the FBI pretty much letting them know like she think Angela's dirty, whatever. And so she got Tasha. She running what she believe happened. She doesn't know that Tariq's the one that Tasha's protecting. She thinks she's protecting Ghost. She's trying to tell her Angela and Ghost is setting her up to take the fall. And she found out that Angela was the one that pointed out that the bullet is in the apartment. At the time when Angela did that, she was thinking it was Ghost who was the one behind it. And she really, at that time, had it in her mind, like, Ghost needs to go down. I'm tired of fooling with him. That's my exit strategy from this man or whatever. But it wasn't Ghost. So she's been trying to clean up their tracks ever since. So when Tasha comes home, she's breaking all this down to them. And she's pissed at Angela. Like, basically, they offer me immunity to drop the dime on both of y'all or whatever. And, of course, Tasha's a soldier. She held it down. And she pointed out, Angela, they after you or whatever. They after you in this case. So she let her know who interviewed her. And from there, you had Tasha revealed to Ghost she's affiliated with the lawyer. And so Ghost had to look on his face, but what could he do? It is what it is at this point. So he got to just take that with a grain of salt. The lawyer Terry, he gotta just deal with it. Then you had Proctor. He's going through trying to get reinstated with his lawyer situation, and Agent Mop got a hard on for him, so he's constantly trying to get at Proctor and stop his whole process. So he on a revenge kick. So he goes at Proctor's ex-wife, and she has a drug problem, so he pretty much is in her ear telling her like, yo, you ain't gonna be able to see your daughter. I make it so he can't see the daughter and you get custody. See, this game is messed up. He knows that she's not stable to raise their daughter, but he don't care about that. He worried about just getting Proctor, so he don't care that the little girl is going to be affected. So that's just life. People was cruel like that. They could care less. So when Tasha didn't break, the FBI agents was all in the office just trying to see what was up. And ironically, Sachs is looking at this paperwork, and the hard evidence paperwork of Tasha's bullet, the bullet matches Tasha's gun. The hard paperwork mysteriously pops up, and they putting two to two together. The Tasha, the head, whatever, she was going to pull the plug and say, we can't keep headhunting, we can't keep using resources on this because it's going to blow up on her face. So when that happened, that intrigued them to say, yo, we almost there, let's keep it going. So it's going to be interesting how all this plays out at the end. But some things going to blow up because they headhunting too hard and their pieces is not all put together. Meanwhile, Dre gets the guy that found out snitched to the FBI that the cartel was in town and everything about what their whereabouts. So he brought him there with the woman, and they pretty much just, after he said what he said, they executed him. So Dre let her know that her brother is going to try to get revenge on her. And that's not really the case, but that's what he's saying. He playing both sides. And she was like, I know your game. You basically like to play both sides. So she telling him. So meanwhile, while she telling him that, he telling her, well, what if I told you, I know somebody that want to kill your brother. Either I could call him off, or we could let it happen. When she said, well, we'll see how it play out. Because at the end of the day, she knows she doesn't like her brother because he's an idiot. He's a live wire. So he's a loose link in the chain that can mess things up. So, but that is still her brother, blood thicker than water. So, you gotta take that account that she playing the game in herself, that, you don't know where she at really. Would she want to let her brother die or flip it on Dre? So that's going to be interesting to see how that comes. So this episode went pretty well. The writing was okay. The writing with Tariq is frustrating. Tommy, with his dad interaction, his dad's boy, they found a way that they can push drugs into the prison system with the fake oodles and noodles and all that. So, who knows how that's going to pan out. Angela was able to track the tracker to the warehouse where they keep the drugs and all that. She took pictures. So a lot of moving parts is moving. It's a little bit all over the place still. It's episode 6. I don't know how many episodes this goes up to, I think. Where you see how many episodes this goes up to see when the pieces start pulling together. So it's getting interesting. But subscribe and like the video. The channel is building. More videos to come. Share the video. We're going to keep it going till next time.